What if I told you that one of the most fascinating duos in Hollywood history isn't actually a romantic couple? That's right. There's a pair of mega-talented stars who share a chemistry so strong it makes you feel like there's something more going on, but there never was. It's pure connection, nothing forced, nothing scripted, and that's what makes it so captivating. Have you ever watched a movie and thought, whoa, those two are magic together? And I don't mean just really good actors, I mean there's a spark, an unspoken rhythm, that goes beyond the dialogue. That's exactly what you see with Johnny Depp and Penélope Cruz. They bring something you sense but can't quite put into words, something warm, natural, and real. That's why we're here today, to dig into their story, explore how their friendship has grown, and why their bond still resonates with fans long after the credits roll. Let's rewind to where it all began, around 2001. That's when Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz first shared the screen in Blow. She played his love interest. From the moment they appeared together, there was a tension that felt raw, painful, honest, unforgettable. Not just because of their characters, but because these two had tapped into a deeper emotional connection. They didn't just say the lines, they inhabited the scene. They spent hours together, rehearsing in quiet corners, running through scenes again and again. Not out of obligation, but out of care. They wanted to get it right, for the story, for the audience, for each other. And when they finally filmed those intense emotional moments, something happened. The kind of magic you don't plan. Their performances were brutal, fierce, heartfelt, heartbreak you could feel in the pit of your own stomach. Audiences watched and wondered, is this real? And that question alone hooked people in. That's when the buzz started. Critics noticed. Fans wrote about it. That raw spark between them was undeniable. But the real surprise? They weren't an item. There was no romance behind the scenes, just mutual respect, creative passion, and a bond of trust that went deeper than most on-screen relationships. Fast forward about a decade to 2011. They met again on the set of Pirates of the Caribbean, on Stranger Tides. This time, the dynamics were different. No love story. No romantic tension. Just pirate politics, sword fights, funny banter, Penelope as Angelica, Johnny as Jack Sparrow. But guess what? The chemistry was still there, maybe even stronger. It wasn't about romantic heat. It was about chemistry of a different kind. A camaraderie forged through years of friendship and shared experiences. Think about it. They played equals, partners, rivals, teammates. Every scene buzzed with a playful energy, like two friends who've known each other forever. They were always in sync, like they shared a secret. And it felt good to watch. Like comfort food for your heart, with a side of sharp wit and adventure. Here's something everyone gets wrong, people assume chemistry means romance. They saw Johnny and Penelope on screen and immediately thought, romance. But the truth? It's even more rare. It's friendship. Deep respect. A creative union built on trust and vulnerability. A friendship where neither of them ever had to create something fake or create drama to keep things interesting. Instead, they just let themselves be real. And that's a beautiful thing to watch. They've both talked about it in interviews. Penelope has said she feels safe around Johnny. That word, safe, is huge in the acting world. When you feel safe, you can risk. You can break a scene. You can put your heart on your sleeve and trust that someone will catch you. Johnny said he feels seen when she's there. He can let go of ego. He can just be. No guards, no masks, no facades. Just two human beings in a moment, together. That kind of connection is powerful and rare, especially in Hollywood, where so many relationships are transactional, temporary, or based on image. But Johnny and Penelope represent something different. Something human. So what's the secret? What makes their dynamic flow so beautifully on screen? First, there's trust. Over time, they've learned how to lean on each other, how to create space, and how to push when needed. They listen. They respond. They build each scene like a conversation, not a monologue. That's why their work feels unfinished in the best way. It breathes, it adapts, it surprises. One director described it as jazz. Improvised, but in perfect harmony. They don't chew up each other's space, they're each other's support. It's playful. It's respectful. It's alive. Take one story from Pirates that shows how much their bond goes beyond the usual actor dynamic. Penelope was pregnant during filming. She was busting out action scenes, running, swinging swords, jumping on ships. Wild stuff. But Johnny watched out for her. He'd help with stunt positions, watch the timing, make sure she was safe. Not to brag, but that's care. That's something you do for a friend, not a co-star. He didn't make a big deal, he didn't tweet about it. He just looked out for her. That moment feels small but speaks volumes. It tells you everything. There's trust, there's love, maybe not romantic, but love nonetheless. And that otherworldly bond they share. It shines through every frame. A lot of people talk about on-screen chemistry as if it's magic. And it kind of is. But it's also a choice. You build it. You earn it. You let time do its work. You show up consistently. You protect each other. You build trust instead of walls. Johnny and Penelope are a lesson in that. They show us that chemistry doesn't have to be sexy. It doesn't have to rely on flirtation, romance, or the kind of intimacy people usually expect from on-screen couples. Their connection proves that chemistry can come from something else entirely, something even more enduring. It can be built on trust, on shared values, on understanding. It can be warm, quiet, and deeply rooted. It doesn't need to scream. It just is. When you look at their work together, it's clear that what they have transcends performance. There's a natural rhythm to how they interact, and it's not the kind of chemistry that you can rehearse or fake. It's that rare kind that grows with time, patience, and honesty. The kind that makes you feel like you're watching two people who really know each other. You can sense the history between them, even if the script doesn't explain it. Their chemistry is a silent conversation that runs beneath every word, every glance, every pause. And that's why it sticks with people. What makes it even more powerful is that it's built on loyalty. Loyalty isn't flashy. It doesn't make headlines the way scandals do. But it's real. Johnny and Penelope have shown up for each other over the years, not just in films, but in interviews, in life. When one of them is asked about the other, you see that glimmer in their eyes. That fondness. That steady admiration that doesn't fade with time. They don't just like working together, they respect each other. And that respect becomes the foundation of everything they do together. There's compassion in their chemistry, too. That ability to understand without needing to explain. In every film they've done, you can feel how they hold space for each other. There's room to breathe. No competition, no trying to outshine the other. Just two artists who know how to lift one another up. And it's subtle, you might not notice it at first. But it's there, like the soft bass line in a beautiful song. You might not be aware of it right away, but it's what makes the melody feel complete. This kind of connection speaks to something universal. We all want to be understood. We all want someone who gets us, someone we don't have to perform for. And when we see Johnny and Penelope on screen, that's what we're watching. That easy, effortless understanding. It's why people are still drawn to them. Why fans still make tribute videos. Why their scenes get thousands of comments and replays years after the movie came out. Because what they share isn't trendy, it's timeless. Their connection is deep. Not just in the emotional sense, but in the creative one. They understand each other's artistic instincts. They can anticipate where a scene is going, and adjust without missing a beat. That takes more than skill, it takes connection. It's like they're dancing, but with words and looks and body language. And that dance becomes the emotional heart of every project they share. It becomes something people remember, even when they forget the plot or the costumes or the action. And let's not forget, chemistry like this doesn't happen by accident. It's nurtured. It's protected. It grows in the quiet moments between takes, in shared glances after a difficult scene, in late-night conversations about a character's motivation. It's built over coffee on set, over mutual admiration, over showing up for each other again and again. This is what makes their story so compelling. There's no drama, no scandal, no messy history. Just a bond that's lasted through decades, across different roles and projects. And that longevity, that emotional endurance, is what fans respond to. They can sense when something is real. And this is real. That's why people write songs about them. Yes, literally, there are original songs, fan edits with emotional music, tributes with poetic lyrics inspired by their scenes together. Because what they represent is hope. Hope that real connection still exists. That we can find someone who understands us without needing to explain ourselves. That there's beauty in subtlety. In gentleness. In loyalty. It also reminds people of something many of us forget: friendship can be just as powerful as love. Sometimes more. Friendship can hold you up when romance fades. It can carry you through the rough spots. It can be the foundation for everything else. And in a world that's always chasing the next big love story, Johnny and Penelope remind us that maybe we should look closer at the love that's already around us. The quiet love. The stable love. The kind that doesn't shout from rooftops but stands beside you no matter what. In a way, their story feels like a love story, but one where the word love means more than just kissing scenes or romantic tension. It means care. Protection. Laughter. Creative partnership. Emotional safety. And that kind of story is rare. That kind of story deserves to be told. So when fans watch Blow or Pirates of the Caribbean or catch old interviews with the two of them, they're not just watching actors perform. They're witnessing a rare kind of magic. Two souls who somehow landed in the same lifetime, who found each other in a world full of noise, and created something honest together. And maybe that's why their chemistry continues to matter. Because in a world of filters and edits and PR-managed relationships, theirs feels unfiltered. Undeniable. Like a warm light in the background that never really goes out. They didn't need a romantic label. They didn't need to play into the media stories. They just needed to be themselves, and that was more than enough. It's a reminder that chemistry doesn't always come with sparks. Sometimes, it comes with a steady flame. The kind that lasts. The kind that never fades. Now, I want to ask you something. What's your favorite Johnny and Penelope moment? Is it from Blow, when their sorrow just pulses off the screen, so heavy you can't breathe? Or is it their playful banter in Pirates, where they joke, tease, match each other's wit mid-fight? Let me know in the comments. What moved you most? What scene left a mark? While you're here, check out our next deep dive, Hollywood friendships that changed blockbuster movies. Seriously, some behind-the-scenes stories will blow your mind. It's a companion video you'll want to watch next. Stay for it. Also, if this video made you smile, made you feel something, or helped you appreciate these two actors in a new way, please smash that like button. Drop us a comment. And hey, subscribe if you're into these untold stories of actor friendships, creative sparks, and Hollywood magic. We've got so many more stories to share, and we'd love to take you along. Thanks so much for hanging out today. It means a lot. Until next time, stay curious, and keep your eyes peeled for those sparks that make movies feel alive.